Hello everyone, welcome to EduChemy's YouTube channel. Myself Karuna Mishra, and I will be continuing the government scheme series. We have already completed agriculture. We had started with the finance schemes. We have taken a video on finance schemes already. This is the second video, and today we will be covering variety of schemes. I'll be taking 4 schemes today. The first 2 schemes are related to entrepreneurship and startup. So, Government of India has realized and reiterated many times how it is keen on creating a healthy ecosystem for these startups. It has created Mudra Yojana also for that. It also has a PLI scheme. But 2 schemes which were especially focusing on these startups are Startup India and Stand Up India. Apart from that, the third scheme that I'll be taking is specially curated during the COVID times to provide food security to the poor, especially the ones which are below poverty line. The fourth scheme is the insurance scheme, one of the biggest scheme Government of India has undertaken to provide insurance to each and every Indian citizen which is in the age bracket of 18 to 50 years. So we will be going through the particulars, the benefits and the features of this scheme. Let us start with the first scheme, which is Startup India scheme, which is in the ambit of Ministry of Commerce and Industry within Government of India. This scheme was specially designed to foster entrepreneurship and to promote innovation through startups. So this scheme was specially designed for that. The ministry is the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. And what are the incentives? There are numerous incentives which are given within this scheme. The most important ones are that it is providing self-certification compliance. Apart from that, there shall be no inspection for 3 years. The income tax benefits or profits shall be provided for the first 3 years. Apart from that, there is a mobile app on which the registration can be done. Then the Startup India Hub has been created as a single point contact. Apart from that, I am also giving 80% rebate on the patent filing fee. So even 80% rebate on the patent filing fee has been provided along with the simplified patent regime and IPR. Along with this, 35 public-private incubators, 31 innovation centers at the national institutes are also created. Most important is that there is a dedicated 10,000 crore fund is created for promoting startups. So these are few of many incentives which are given within the Startup India scheme. Along with that, I have Stand Up India scheme, which is within the Ministry of Finance. Now here the ministry has been changed. In my Startup India scheme, it was Ministry of Commerce and Industry. In Stand Up India scheme, it is Ministry of Finance. The scheme has been extended to the year 2025. Now, this was one of the reasons why we are doing the scheme, because it has been extended. The other important reason is, if you have come across the name Kiran Majumdar-Shaw, who's the chairperson of Biocon, you don't need to read about her. But when government announced that it is going to promote up to 75 startups from the medical industry, especially in the field of biotechnology, he gave a very beautiful article on how India can realize its dream of creating the $125 billion industry in the field of biotechnology and medicine. You have to understand, India is known as the pharmacy to the world. And she is saying that, and many other people from the industry are saying that if government and the industry play their cards right, with the current support, India can actually realize its dream of creating $125 billion industry by the year 2025. So there are many suggestions also. If you have the time, do read it. Otherwise, for your prelims, this much information is sufficient. So all of this was in news that makes these 2 schemes important. Now about Stand Up India scheme, the scheme is very beautifully designed. Just like Startup India, it is to promote entrepreneurship, but the focus here is on the SC, ST and women entrepreneurs. So it is the SC, and the women entrepreneurs which are in focus here. The loan given to them shall be between 10 lakh rupees to 1 crore rupees. The application as well as the processing can be done online, and government shall provide somewhat hand-holding support for these startups to convert into successful industries. And also this scheme is converged or shall be converged with the subsidy schemes as well. So basically government is trying to provide this beautiful ecosystem for new technologies and new startups to flourish. Along with that, there is another concept which is called greenfield projects. So within my Stand Up India scheme, the loan shall only be given to the greenfield projects. Now, what are greenfield projects? These are the first time ventures. These are the first time ventures of the beneficiary, and they have to be in the manufacturing, services, or trading sector. So these are the three sectors where the first time venture of the beneficiary should be. In case the enterprise or the company is non-individual, then it is must that 51% of the total shareholding should be under the control of SC, ST or women. So these are the features of Startup India and Stand Up India scheme. Coming to the next scheme, which is Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana. This is by the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, very beautifully curated during the COVID times here. So what was the aim or purpose of the scheme? The purpose was to provide free food grains to migrant and poor. So I am trying to create a nutrition security for the migrants and poor who all are eligible within the scheme. All the people who are below poverty line and are already enrolled in the Antyodaya Anna Yojana. The criteria here, the criteria shall be provided by the center, whereas the eligibility or the list shall be given by the state or union territory. So the beneficiaries shall be identified by the state or union territory, but the criteria shall be given by the central government. Apart from that, there is a concept called as priority households category. These are the households which are kept in priority and should be provided food grains, and those again will be identified by state government. The criteria shall be given by center. So for both the formula remains the same. The entitlement or what are the benefits that the individual or beneficiary shall have, it is that they shall get 5 kg free wheat or rice per person per month. So it is not per family, it is per person per month, that is wheat or rice, but per family they shall get 1 kg of free whole chana. So I don't know how many of you know, but it is considered very nutritious to add chana, flour, which is also called gram flour, with your normal wheat flour. It is considered to be healthy, it is considered to be more nutritious. Apart from that, most importantly, this is not clubbing with NFSA, rather over and above National Food Security Act, whatever monthly entitlements are given, this much amount of grain shall be given free of cost. The difference between a National Food Security Act and this Yojana is that here it is completely free, whereas in the National Food Security Act, you still need to pay some subsidized price. The cost of the free food shall be borne by the central government. It is central government's job to compensate for the cost. Now coming to my last scheme, which is Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana, which is an insurance scheme, one of the biggest insurance schemes ever taken up by the government of India within the Ministry of Finance. Within the Ministry of Finance, the beneficiaries include all the citizens within the age bracket of 18 to 50 who have bank account in any scheduled commercial banks. As you can see, when person has insurance, they have the security, they have the coverage, they have the protection, they even have the confidence that in case if they do not survive, their family will be taken care of. So what are the features of this scheme? The features of the scheme are that it shall have a risk coverage of 2 lakh rupees in case of any sort of death. Second important part is that every year the person has to opt for the scheme, and there is a possibility of long term continuation if they agree for auto debit from their bank every year. The premium which has been fixed is rupees 330 per year, and the first company which was taken up was Life Insurance Corporation, but yes, other insurance companies can also join in the scheme depending on their willingness. So these were the features of Bima Yojana. So we have covered 4 schemes. We are trying to make these short videos to cover all the important schemes. Hope it helps for your prelims. Till then, keep studying very hard. All the best. Thank you very much.